What's up, ladies and gentlemen? It's your boy Rush Mike. It's so hot out today. It was really humid out yesterday. What's the temperature like? 78. Which, during the summer, like 78's like a perfect temperature for me, 77, 78. But when you've gone through so many weeks of like temperatures in the 50s, maybe the low 60s, it's a bit of a shock. I'm sweating a lot, in desperate need of water. Anyways, today is May 4th, so happy Star Wars Day. May the 4th be with you. I'm actually here right now in a Walmart parking lot. I just realized I do not have a Star Wars t-shirt, and was thinking it'd be pretty cool if I got one. Unfortunately, I come here and all the cool graphic shirts that I like to get from there, they're not on the shelves. You know, I've got. When I was a teenager, and the movie Superbad came out, there was a t-shirt at Walmart with McLovin's license, and I got that, and everybody loved that shirt. Everybody that saw that shirt loved it. I have another shirt from there that says beers, bass, cigars, the 3 food groups. It's another one from Walmart. But so I was thinking there might be a Star Wars shirt, and there has been Star Wars shirts there in the past, but at least in adult sizes, they're not on the shelves. I'm guessing there's a limited inventory because of coronavirus and whatnot. Yeah, so today is coming on the heels of my Star Wars marathon, where I burned another 7-day trial with Disney Plus. Watched Star Wars 1 through 9, Rogue One, Solo, and the first season of The Mandalorian. And so yesterday, and every Sunday I have like a Zoom chat with everybody in my family, or most of the people in my family. My mom, my brother, my aunt, my cousins, all those. My grandparents have died. My uncle has died. But like everybody living in the family, we get on Zoom chat every Sunday. So I was talking with my oldest cousin, who is about 10 years older than me, but we have very similar interests. So we were discussing The Mandalorian, and she was not too thrilled with it. She didn't much care for it, and I guess I don't really blame her, because there were several episodes they didn't seem very cohesive with the season. They, didn't really. It seemed like there wasn't really a whole lot going on in the big story arc. But we agreed that the last 2 episodes were great, especially the last episode. But I just found out today that the last episode of the first season of The Mandalorian was directed by Taika Waititi. That name sounds familiar. It's because he directed Thor Ragnarok and Jojo Rabbit, and he also wrote the screenplay for Jojo Rabbit, for which he won the Oscar. So he directed that last episode of The Mandalorian, and it was just revealed today that he will be directing another Star Wars movie. Now, I'm guessing it's not going to be another episodic movie. Like, I don't think they've green-lighted 10, 11, 12 yet. But, the anthology films along the lines of Rogue One and Solo, they're going to do a lot more of those. And Taika Waititi will direct one of them, as well as being a co-writer. The other writer, I forget her name. She's a woman. She was nominated for writing 1917. Hold on for a moment. I've been keeping my windows open, just because it's hot out and I don't want to sweat my ass off, but I'm a little bit uncomfortable with other people in the parking lot if they're too close and they try to listen in on what I'm saying. Because I like this to be a more private thing until I release it to YouTube. So here we go. So where was I? I was talking about Taika Waititi. So he's directing and co-writing this movie, and the other co-writer she's a woman. I guess she was the writer for I think it was 1917, and she was nominated for an Oscar. So that's a good get. That's a good get for the Star Wars franchise. I'm very excited. And it seems like that's going to come out in 2022. So I was just thinking on my drive over here about the Mel Brooks parody of Star Wars, Spaceballs. Now, I am thirsty. I forget when exactly that came out, but I think like all the other Mel Brooks movies, Spaceballs came out probably before I was born. But my mom saw it when it was first in theaters, and she tells me it's got terrible reviews. Like, people hated Spaceballs, which seems so ironic to me because, like, everybody in my generation, everybody that I've talked to, they really like Spaceballs. They say, it's at the very least, it's a good movie, if not a great movie. And my mom feels this way too. And I think that the people back then that gave Spaceballs bad reviews and they didn't like it, I just think they didn't really understand Mel Brooks's brand of humor. And it is kind of hard to understand unless you grew up with that kind of humor. Now, me being Jewish, coming from a Jewish family, having parents that they introduced me to all of the Mel Brooks movies at an early age. Young Frankenstein, Blazing Saddles, The Producers, Spaceballs. So I grew up loving Mel Brooks. In fact, I don't know if I've mentioned this before, but I love Mel Brooks so much that there's theater near me. A couple years ago, they announced that they were doing Young Frankenstein, the musical. And at the time, I had no musical theater experience, but I decided to audition. Thought, hey, I love the movie. I think this is going to be a great musical. I gotta at least give this a shot. I can't dance very well, but I can act. I'm a decent singer, having been the front man of a rock band. So I go out there and audition. And, I give it to the director straight. Like, I have no musical theater experience, no vocal training, only acted in 2 plays before. But I'd love to be in this musical, and I think it would be a lot of fun. And I don't know what the director saw in me, but he managed to like my audition enough that he called me back, and then he liked my callback enough that he cast me in the show as Ziggy the Village Idiot, which I think was definitely the right role for me. I actually got called back for the role of Inspector Kemp, the guy with the German accent who's missing an arm and a leg. And the guy who ended up getting that part was much more suited. He was tall and thin and older and just much more suited. And being the Village Idiots, I mean, I'm sort of typecast as a comic relief character, and that's okay. It's a very good role to have. Corn dog, feeling a bit hungry. Oh. So, I hear that they're going to announce the NFL schedule sometime this week. But it was just announced this afternoon the international games will be canceled. The England games, the London games, the Mexico City game. Which, yeah, that's definitely a good move. Even if like by September, the time September rolls around, we have gotten the coronavirus under control, it's still going to be extremely risky to travel abroad. So we're going to have travel restrictions for the foreseeable future, and I just think playing games internationally is not a very prudent thing to do. So good call for them to cancel that. As far as the NFL season goes, I mean, I'm hoping nothing happens. I hope it goes on as planned. I think it was the Los Angeles mayor, Eric Garcetti, who said Los Angeles might not be able to host any events until 2021, so they might be playing Rams and Chargers games in an empty stadium, which I have no problem with, as long as I can watch football. Now, thing is, how much money would the NFL lose by playing in empty stadiums? I mean, they make most of their money on TV contracts anyways. Same with Major League Baseball. Oh, that reminds me. 1 a.m. tonight / tomorrow morning, ESPN will broadcast live games of the KBO, Korean Baseball Organization. Their seasons is starting up. I think they'll be playing in empty stadiums. So it'll be really fun to watch live baseball again. Obviously, it's not Major League Baseball. It's not even at the level of Japanese baseball. I honestly don't know all that much about baseball in Korea. I guess it's slightly more popular than soccer. Been a few Koreans in the majors. I remember Chan-ho Park pitching for the Dodgers in the 90s. That's the guy that gave up Barry Bonds' 71st home run. So yeah. So I think when I get home, I'm gonna First thing I'm going to do is turn on the air conditioning, maybe take a nap. I'm going to see what movies are on Netflix. Maybe if there's any good movies. Oh shit! No, never mind. The Last Dance. The next 2 episodes were last night. I missed those because I was watching The Simpsons and Family Guy. So I'll watch that this evening. And then, if I'm awake at 1 a.m., which I most likely will be, I think I'm going to watch Korean baseball on ESPN. So that'll be neat. Alright, so that'll be about it. Oh. God damn. Okay, never again am I recording videos with my car windows up in this heat. Ugh. Alright. Have a good day, y'all.